What is up? This is Colonial Puppet, and this is part 11 of the Let's Build an Airport series runway / landing strip. Last episode we were on MC Edit. This episode we're back on Minecraft 1.12.2 with Forge installed, which is nice. Before we get into anything too intricate, I'll give you a little insight into my position. This is the runway that kind of just goes off into the ocean. And then there's the 3 runways. The terminal should be right there. The control tower should be like right about there. So that's where I am. And I'm particularly in this corner because I want to extend this grass over. So to show you what I mean, if we go over here, I want there to be grass here. So I'm going to select this, and then I'm going to select here. I'm going to go T set grass. Just to make this more square, I thought it would look nicer. I had rendered the bird's eye view image that I ended the last episode on, and saw this corner and thought it would look nicer if this was just an open grass area as opposed to kind of being a chunk cut out of the overall footprint. But anyway, I forget what polished andesite is, but I might be able to remember. And of course I got rid of my wooden axe. Alright, place your bets. See if I remember I think it's 1-6. Oops. Do I remember polished andesite? Set 1. There it is. Haha, I do remember it. You know I've been using MC Edit a lot when I start to remember the block IDs. So we're going to do the same thing here. Hopefully I don't unplug my... Wait, what? I literally... Did I hit it twice? There we go. Okay, that was odd. Okay, so now this is this open grass space, but it's basically a perfect rectangle now, which I kind of thought looked better than what we had originally. Next, going to make a fence. I think that's going to be my next step. So let's get some, what do we want to use? We're going to be using iron bars, naturally, and then I would like to use polished andesite, but I want to differentiate between actually, I'll use polished andesite. And you'll see why in a second. It might look weird that the wall is the same color as like the poles of the fence, but that actually won't be a problem. Let's make it 5 blocks tall, or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 blocks of space. Then we're going to fill in with iron bars because I forget the ID of iron bars. And this is going to be our fence that runs along basically the entire perimeter of the something like that. And now, and we're only going to do 3 blocks tall. We're not going to do the full 4 blocks, just because I like there being these like little kind of, I don't know, extra space. Gives it a little more depth, I think. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to switch on over to MC Edit. So I will see you when I'm loaded up into MC Edit. All right. We are in MC Edit, and now I'm going to basically copy paste this entire fence around the perimeter of the airport. So I'm going to start off with just copy pasting the single sections like so. Now to make it easier, I'm going to select all of these. I could theoretically do this in World Edit, just straight in Minecraft, but it would be a little more clunky and a little more tedious. I like just like the visual. I just like how this is a pretty good visual representation of how I'm copy pasting it, because with World Edit it's typing in coordinates, or not or punching in coordinates with the wooden axe, and then kind of having to position yourself in the correct place and typing in commands, whereas this, it's like, it's all visual, so it's much nicer. We are going to have doorways eventually, but those will come later. Import that. So you kind of get the idea. And obviously it's probably not going to line up perfectly at the corner, but we have ways of dealing with that, as you'll see in a second. Plus it's a fence, so people aren't going to be looking for the strictest consistency, and it's like spacing. So we'll definitely have some room to get it to fit. As long as most of the sections are 15 blocks, to the eye, it'll look uniform enough. And here, actually, this is going to work out pretty well, because I want to first deselect this. So I'm going to do 2, copy, paste, going to mirror that. I had to double take for a second, I didn't know why it wasn't showing up. So that's going to be a doorway. We're going to place a door in there. Now I can just go in and click the different saved items I have here. So in this case, we're going to be clicking the second one, which is the longer of the bunch. And you guessed it, we're going to build it along the entire perimeter. Oops. Now if I just hit copy paste, it'll paste in the last thing I copied, which is that single pillar. So I'm going to delete that as well as that. So now I can just hit Control V. MC Edit. Very nice. Program no longer supported. They released MC Edit 2, which I think is also no longer supported, or at least updated. I think they stopped updating it, which is depressing. But even so, I didn't care for MC Edit 2. I liked the OG MC Edit much better, which is what we're using right now. just because the nudge buttons are so helpful. So I'm going to paste this in, drop it in the general location of where I want to place it, and then I just click this nudge button and I use the arrow keys, or WASD, to nudge it, for lack of a better term, into the correct positioning. It's very precise, very intuitive, very nice. And I'm sure it has to be on MC Edit 2. It might just be hidden, because I don't see why anyone would want to get away or get rid of that function. So same thing. Maybe I shouldn't have deleted those, because we're gonna do essentially the same thing with this doorway here. G to mirror it, and copy paste the single pillar. Yeah, no, I mean, it's MC Edit 1 is a very nice, well balanced mod. It's very nice. Super intuitive, but it's not like overbearing. Like, you don't need to read a manual to know how to use it. It's pretty straightforward. Has these nicely labeled. Don't have to like remember hotkeys like with every other program, from like Adobe to like Blender. Yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend. It's the only reason I'm still building on version 1.12.2. That and just general mod support, which is the unfortunate truth. We are building over the barriers of the highway, which is fine because I don't know how long that highway is going to be staying in Titan City. It's kind of a relic at this point. There we go. That works, because this ends right at this. I'm just going to leave it like that, and then leave this doorway, or this road open, obviously. Yeah, see there. This was built before I took roads seriously, so there's no like slip lane or anything like that. It's just like a 90-degree turn, which makes no sense, and will eventually have to be fixed. But that will be later down the road. Haha. No pun intended. Gonna keep a block of space just like how this is. And like, oh, actually, how about that? I'll do this though. I'll delete these too. So it's just like a doorway there. Leave this whole area open and then immediately continue the fencing. Oops. Just like that. I think I built the polished andesite into the grass over here, so I won't have to guesstimate. Yeah, I did. So let's see, does this almost, it's almost been the same. I need an extra row of iron bars, and then rotate this 90 degrees, then slide it in. Just to make this go a little bit faster, I'm going to do this. Import that. I'm going to go all the way to the end and copy it. So now we just doubled the length of our building blocks, which should make this go a little bit faster, theoretically. And it looks like in practice as well. Oh yeah, definitely this is going a lot quicker. Although, I think we're getting close to the edge. Going over yet? No. But we're getting close. But honestly, it doesn't matter if we go over it, because we could just delete some of it. Ooh, nice. Another doorway. Import. And then this is relatively short, so I'm gonna just do it one segment at a time. Oh, so close. I think I'm gonna just do this. And then I'm gonna delete this and replace it with iron bars. Ta-da. Then we're gonna use our super long building block, because this is now the super long single runway that like extends super far out from anything else. Port. And we've gone over quite a bit, actually. So I will delete until this corner. Put a pole here. Although I could have just done this. I have to overlap it. Now I'm just going to build one segment at a time. Although, I probably could have gotten away with one of the... Oh yeah, definitely could have gotten away with the 4-segment piece. And let's put a doorway here. Perfect. Now we're going to paste this one. You might be wondering where these doorways are going to lead. Like, why would there be a doorway that leads to the ocean? Well, good question. We are going to, remember that barrier I was talking about last episode? We're going to build like a wave break kind of force field thing, or not force field, but barrier that will have steps for people who perhaps they find themselves in a boat or something. We've gone over, but not that much. This is actually works out very well. So that worked out pretty easy, I have to say. there you go. Yeah, we just built a fence around the entire island, essentially. So I'm going to hit save. 79 unsaved edits you can see in the bottom left. It's probably going to take some time. So when this is done, I will jump back into regular old Minecraft, but I'm going to cut right now and then cut back to when I am in fact back in Minecraft. So I will see you then. Alright, we're back in Minecraft and the fence has magically appeared in game. And now it's time to build that aforementioned barrier, starting with picking the materials we're going to be using. I think I want to use concrete for a good chunk of this. I also want to use, what else should I use? I definitely want to use stone brick and maybe stone slab. Let's do stone slab. So I'm going to start by building in this corner here. 15, so 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to build out to here, just like that. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Next thing we're going to be doing is, so 3 blocks out on the 4th block like this, build that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 again. And then we're going to build that up. So it should have this L shape with like this nice little square at the intersection. This is going to be like a walkway. Then we're going to fill this in. The stone slabs, just like so. Just like that. Then we're going to have these at each corner. Then we're going to go to 2 and then 1. And then we're going to do this. Nice. Next, we are going to steal some iron bars, build them across like this. Then we're going to I think I'll use these. So this is what our barrier is going to look like. Something like that. And we're going to build it all the way around, basically. So that's how you build a corner. Then I'm going to build a just regular old segment. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let me just make sure that I'm doing this right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then build this here. Don't need this. I just burped. Shouldn't have drank seltzer water before starting this Let's Build. Filling in the ground like you see here. Then putting this like that. And like this. And then lastly, the steps. Not lastly, actually, because the last part is putting in the iron blocks like so. So there you have it. So now we have every piece we need minus the outward corner. So we have an inward corner. Now we need to build an outward corner, which should be relatively easy. And we're going to have to travel, actually not that far. Let's travel over here to do it. All right, 3x3 block, or 3x3 square. So I'm going to build out 3 like that. Fill this in, 3x3 square. I'll make sure these are extended to the bottom of the ocean. So we just built that. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Just like we had with the segment we just built. And hopefully, what we just did once this is done is build every segment we need to then jump into MCEdit and copy paste the entire length of the entire perimeter of the airport. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Case it in concrete, light gray concrete. Build up, 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 up. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. 2, 1. Stairs. Stairs. Oops. You get the idea. You get the pattern. Then it's just a matter of building these like so. And lastly, the kind of the more inner stairs, I guess you could say. Just like that. All right, nice. So that should give us the resources we need. I just hit my pop filter. That should give us the resources we need to build a barrier around the entire airport. So now I'm going to switch back over to MCEdit yet again and copy paste that into reality, I guess you could say. So I will see you when I'm on MCEdit. All right, we are back in MCEdit and we are at this inner corner where we just built the barriers, and I'm going to copy the pieces we're going to need to encase the entire airport in a barrier of concrete and stone. So I'm going to copy this first piece. Whoop. There we go. Copy that. That's going to be our straight piece. Next, I'm going to select this. Make sure I got it lined up correctly. This is going to be our inner corner piece, and the outer corner piece we're actually going to have to break up into 2 separate parts. Unfortunately, that's just how it's going to be. So this is part 1 of the outer corner piece. Just make sure it's correct. There we go. So copy that, and then I think this will be our part 2. All right. So to make things easy on us, we're going to start on this long end. Why not? Just gonna have to lower this into the water. Do this a couple times. I'm just going to keep doubling it every time I paste, just to make it go a little bit faster. Whoa. Why does that look wrong? Interesting. All right. So now it's getting super long, which is good. So I want this to go relatively quick. This is getting to be slightly longer than average episode. Hopefully this doesn't extend too far into or too far beyond where you want it to end. Does not. Good. Okay. How much farther do we have? Oh, it looks like we still got quite a ways to go. Feel safe doing another one. I'm gonna have to start thinking of switching back to smaller pieces. Just because if I do go over, it's gonna be a little more tricky to fix it because we are building in water. And I'd have to replace the water with like or replace the empty space with back with still water, which can be quite the hassle, even in MC Edit. Surprised that we're not near the end yet. Something like that. Okay, now we're getting there. Ooh, that's gonna be... It's gonna be close. Gonna take a gamble though. Okay. That's not too bad. Gonna hit. Get right up here. This is what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna hit delete. It's gonna delete everything, and then I'm gonna move this down one, fill and replace. Still water. Fill it with a source spot. There we go. Now we're going to do the 2/2 of our corner piece. Actually, can we do this? Confused. Oh, I get it. So it'd be something like that. And now I'm going to do this. I'm going to select a single thing of this, copy it, paste it, bring it down here. I'm going to copy the air to get rid of that one. There we go. So that looks perfect. Back to the long boys. And I think this one goes all the way to land, basically. I'm just kind of hoping that this works out space-wise. Like I don't want to have to do any major terrain repairs. And you'll see what I mean in a second. Referring to when I hit the, because this goes to the highway. Essentially, we're gonna build like right up to the highway. So if I accidentally extend beyond the highway. Oh wait, actually, perfect. I'll just keep doing this. I'll switch to a smaller building block. 2 should be fine for now. And then just a single one right here. All right. Stopping there. We're not going to put any here because obviously probably going to want to extend this road at some point in Titan City's future. Next, what we're going to do, so we're going to go back to the other place. Just getting a good look of how it turned out. I think it looks pretty damn good. Back to the corner. And yeah, basically we're gonna get right back to it. So this single landing strip looked kind of goofy extending out into the ocean, but now that it's overall getting a little more girth, I guess you could say, Doesn't look as bad. Looks a little more cohesive with the rest of the airport, in my humble opinion. Not sure if I would build it again if I could start over, but it's what we have. Again, I'm not trying to change everything I've done, so we're just gonna roll with it for now. Excuse me. Now we're gonna put this in the corner piece. So this is part 1 of the corner piece. Just gonna plop it in like that. Then part 2 is this one, which I just now realized is just a straight piece. And again, I feel weird. I apologize for the, I guess you could say radio silence. Oof, that extends out a lot. Delete, fill with water. Now I think we're going to have to mirror the... Oh, we're going to have to mirror it twice. G, GG. Nudge it into place. Copy the error. Nice. Deselect, and then we said part 2 of the corner piece was the same as a straight piece, so not going to worry about that. Just going to go right back to putting in the straight pieces. And I'm hoping this is going to let me know in the comments if this translates okay in the actual gameplay of Minecraft, or if there's anything that needs to be clarified. Because I know this makes, at least, it makes sense in the context of building in MC Edit, but I hope this isn't too hard to follow along when you're building in just vanilla Minecraft. Although, I mean, I can't imagine it being too difficult. Getting there. Whoops. I'm just gonna do this. Oops. And again, the spacing isn't super important just because of the massive scale of this. It's not really like it's going to be noticed by anyone. So we're going to keep on pushing on. But this is like the last... This is the last face I think we have to do. airport. And I think this is going to be the last clip that I film for part 11. Next episode, we'll get a good look of how it turned out in vanilla Minecraft. Ooh, we are right there. Sorry, this was kind of a more subdued, kind of quiet episode, but that is the nature of the game when you're building a giant barrier around what has to be miles of land. Guess it has to be at least a few miles scale wise. Alright, I'm gonna hit save. But anyway, thank you for tuning into episode 11 of the Let's Build an Airport series landing strip / runway. Be sure to check out part 12 when it comes out and the previous episodes if you would like to follow along. Again, you're going to have to wait for next episode to get a good look of the wall we just built in Minecraft itself. But I'm guessing it's going to look nice. It looks nice in MC Edit, which is saying a lot. So, yep. Keep on the lookout for part 12. And other than that, this has been Colonial Puppet. Have a nice day.